there is no longer a federal constitutional right to an abortion.
The Supreme Court has essentially reshaped American life.
It's going to be legal chaos.
According to news, most abortions are now banned in at least 14 states as laws restricting the procedure to take forward following the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Georgia also bans abortion about 6 weeks of pregnancy before many women know they're pregnant. About half of the states are expected to enact bans on abortion or other gestational limits on the procedure. In some of the states, abortion remains legal for now as the courts determine whether existing or new bans can take effect. In the rest of the states, abortion is legal but still may be restricted, or access may otherwise be limited. In Pennsylvania, abortion is legal until 24 weeks of pregnancy and is not protected by state law. The state has enacted multiple restrictions that limit access to the procedure, and state funds cannot be used to cover the costs of most abortions. Speaking of Roe v. Wade, this case stands for the legality of intentional abortion in the United States. Humanity took centuries to put abortion right, and all public speaking, this new law overturned Roe v. Wade and put the efforts made by our ancestors all into a waste. So why are the protesters against abortions? First of all, abortion does harm to women who decided to have the procedure. Take into account all the mental health problems studied. Women with a history of abortion have a higher rate of anxiety, depression, alcohol misuse, marijuana use, and suicidal behavior compared to those who have not had abortion. The other point is that an unborn child should also be considered as a human being, and the movement of taking his life away should be also considered as murder. The right to life is protected by the laws of the land, yet often the laws don't recognize the preborn as human being in need of protection. The pro-life movement affirms that human life begins at conception and therefore equally deserving of protection and rights. The phrase pro-life comes from a 1970s political movement. The movement primarily focused on abortion, with the stance that preborn lives were valuable and needed to be protected. However, the term has since developed as a broader perspective valuing human life at every stage from conception to natural death. Those who affirm life take the position that all human lives have inherent value and should be treated with dignity. The pro-life position can also be shaped by an individual's religious and spiritual views. Christians who believed in the Bible as God's truth hold the perspective that all human life is created in the image of God Himself and should be treated with dignity. Besides, we're living in an aging society. Every country needs a balance between different age groups to maintain the equilibrium between the working and non-working sectors. When the pyramid is reversed and the older members outnumber the supporting group, the care of the elderly rests primarily with the government, which would lead to economic issues. However, abortion is not just about the baby. Women themselves may get pregnant against their own will as a consequence of rape and incest. The impact of these pregnancies will vary immensely depending on such factors as a woman's health, family relationships, economic resources, and the availability of medical care. This and other factors will influence her decision to either carry a pregnancy to term or seek an abortion. Given the complexity of this decision, the only person equipped to make it is the pregnant woman herself, and there's no reason for anyone else to have the right to deny it. Besides, a fetus is only a part of a woman's body, and women may have the right to make changes to their bodies. Unintended pregnancy is a major cause of abortion, and how to prevent that is something we need to seriously consider. Though whether or not to get an abortion is the choice of the pregnant woman herself. For those who does not want a baby initially should prevent themselves from pregnancy at the first place. Effective ways of reducing unintended pregnancies include early sexual education and legal education, protecting women from both personal and unresistible causes for pregnancy. In all, we believe that safe and accessible abortion should be legal, and women who carry the unborn should be able to make their own decisions no matter where they are. Politics should be kept off women's uterus and basic rights, and there's no human in the world have the access to others' own choice or bodies. Above all the content that we present you today. Thank you for watching.